So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium is a small state agency that's responsible for managing the Sea Grant program in South Carolina. We are a consortium of 9 institutions, so Clemson University, the Water Resources Center, South Carolina State University, University of South Carolina, the Citadel, the College of Charleston, the Medical University of South Carolina, Coastal Carolina University, and Francis Marion University. And as part of our consortium, we conduct research, extension, and education to support the wise use of natural resources in South Carolina and the conservation of natural resources in South Carolina. So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium is really happy to be able to support the Water Resources Center in this Water Resources Conference. It gives us the opportunity to bring all the different people, all the different disciplines that work on water resources, as well as decision makers for water resources together in one place. It sounds, to anybody else, it may say, well, you all work on water, so you should talk to each other all the time. But, we have hydrologists, we have people who are working on contaminants, we have people who are working on urban flooding, so there are a lot of different things involved. And so that having that opportunity for everyone to talk to each other and network, that's an important part of the conference. So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium collaborates a lot with Clemson University and the Water Resources Center. For instance, our board of directors right now is chaired by Provost Jones at Clemson University, and so he helps guide the work that we do. At the same time, water is what we do. We are, the Sea Grant is ocean and coastal ocean resources. And so with the Water Resources Center, we have that, we kind of meet up together, the freshwater and the saltwater estuarine and saltwater. And so that's a boundary line that's moving all the time. We want to take a watershed approach to research and practice and how we're managing those water resources. And so it's necessary that we do work together and share information. So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium several years ago brought together a lot of researchers that were interested in working on stormwater ponds. And so we don't think a whole lot. People say, I have a pond in my neighborhood or a lake in my neighborhood, but particularly in coastal North Carolina, those are not natural things. They were built actually as stormwater control measures. And when we built them, we created this new environment that we weren't sure what goes on there. And so over time we've realized we need to understand how nutrients are handled, the ecology of those ponds, how they connect. Most of them connect hydrologically to our rivers, our estuary, and our ocean. And so what impact, the fact that stormwater is all rushing into those ponds so that solids can be sequestered, and what impact is that having on our water resources. And so that's something that we're all interested in across the state. And we'll work with the Water Resources Center to better understand and include them in water budgeting for our state. From a sea grant perspective, one of the greatest water challenges that we're interested in is sea level rise and flooding from climate change. And it's very hard to work on a problem that's just starting. Though I will say in South Carolina, we've experienced a lot of the impact of sea level rise. We certainly can see that when storms come by. It's really important to us whether it's high tide or low tide when storms come by, because that high tide storm can really bring a lot of water on shore. Drinking water and fresh water on the coast is not so much a problem because we do have so many rivers. We're a very hydrological state. But we're also looking at the impacts of sea level rise on its impact on groundwater and the salinization of our groundwater. So communities have pipes in groundwater. We have agriculture that's in the ground that's often with shallow water tables. And so we see sea level rise as a big challenge for a lot of the work that we do. So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium and the Water Resources Center both are small grant funding institutions. And yearly or bi-yearly, we have grants to support the researchers in our state to do applied research, and the research that's really going to impact our communities and is guided by our decision makers. And so I think that's an important aspect of the work we share. The South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium's biennial grant process begins in January. We'll put out a call for proposals, but right now we're asking for people to contact our extension team or our communications team and find out what our research needs are and what communities or organizations they need to include in engaging to talk about the research they want to do. Letters of intent will probably be due in February, and all that information will be provided on our website.